Hey guys, I'm back to another video here. Today we are doing what if Kurama was a girl / female part 4. Finally got it right. In this part we will be, well, I'm not sure what we'll be going through. Well, the bow test, obviously. The bow test, because I think I forgot to mention that last one. Anyway, well no, because I did it before that, so yeah. We'll be going for the bow test and how their team will, how I guess they will, how they work together, kind of. And so yeah, anyway, in the last part we left off. In the last part we left off with Naruto. Well, no, not. I think it was. No, yeah, we left off with Naruto, Ino, and Hinata. Well, them learning like their team, and Naruto going. Well, Naruto was just fine with it. He was kind of happy that he wasn't with not Kakashi. What's his name? Oh, what is his? Sasuke. He's kind of happy that he's not with Sasuke because Kurama, female Kurama, admitted to Naruto a lot earlier on that she doesn't like people with the Sharingan because of a reason that we all know. And if you don't know, I'd suggest watching the series. Otherwise, it's because the Uchihas, or Sasuke particularly, is an Uchiha, and not all Uchihas, but most Uchihas have the ability to awaken the Sharingan. I think all Uchihas have the ability to awaken the Sharingan, but they have to experience something lethal or that, or experience some very sadness in their life to activate the Sharingan. So it's, yeah, and so he doesn't like the Uchihas because of that, and they can control him using the Sharingan, so that's why. Well, yeah, that's why the main Kurama, and this is also why the female Kurama, because they're the same, even though Naruto does have the full Kurama in this timeline, which does mean it does change a lot of scenarios around. Yeah. And also Naruto can do one-tailed cloak, barely one-tailed cloak. It's a one-tailed cloak, but it drains a lot out of him. And no, I think that was in another life. Anyway, yes, another. Yeah. Anyway, let's jump into the what if. Even though I didn't know. Oh yeah, they learned that they were a team and they went what their hobbies were like. Did I even say what would like? I think so. Would just like, well, should be a lot more mature and say, well, the person I like is Sasuke. Things I like doing is working, well, I guess helping out with parents and working in the shop and that. And the person she hates the most, or the person I think she would say the person she hates or dislikes is Sakura. Because I don't think ever really showed any hatred against Naruto. I think she, like all the others, probably got winded up by Naruto, but I don't think she never hated him like Sakura did. And of course, Sakura finding out that, firstly, Ino's not on a team with Sasuke, and that she's paired up with Naruto, and that, Ino's being paired up with Naruto would make Sakura very happy. And I forgot what I was saying, so let's get into life. So, well, Kakashi would say, oh, meet me at, the training ground, I think. So he said, or training ground 1, whatever he said. No, tomorrow, and I'll see you and don't eat anything. If I have said this, then I was very quiet in this thing. So, yes, I'll be going over again if I have. Oh well, doesn't matter. Doesn't really matter. Yeah, and well, Kakashi disappears as he normally does. And well, they look at each other and go, well, what now? Don't have, lunch together? And well, well, I don't know really, well, probably go along and Hinata just, I think Hinata probably, probably won't because of, her father and that, and would, and, well, no, they would be able to have a break because of school, but her dad would want her back as soon as possible. So Hinata goes, well, I can have lunch with you, but then after that I have to go back because my dad wants me back as soon as possible so I can train. And now I'm telling Lena just like, jeez, your dad's strict. Your dad's like strict, and it'd go, well, now to like, what about you? Do you have any time like restraints? And he'd looks like, no, because I live alone. So what do you mean you live alone? Like your parents abandoned you? It's like, well, I guess you could say that, because they're both dead. And they, and Hinata just look at one another and then go, oh, I'm sorry, Naruto, I didn't know. It's like, oh, don't worry, I never knew them. They died when I was born. So, yeah, really, the only person I guess count as a relative is someone that I'm not really allowed to tell you about yet. So, why? Because, you've seen, Kakashi tends to pick me up, and that's, you might have thought, oh, Kakashi's your dad, but no, he's just someone who's been picking me up. And, because, he enjoys, he enjoys talking to me about my parents and that, and, well, who are your parents? Like, that's an S-class secret, that. That's an S-class secret? It's like, yep, an S-class secret. I only found out because my friend, who I'm not like, I'd say friend, but more like sister. But I'm not allowed to tell you about that because that's an also S-class secret. Like, jeez, it's like, well, yeah, I can tell you about my parents because that's up to me, and so is the other one, but that's more of, I'll tell you if we become a team, but my mum and dad died as, like, I think a minute or two after I was born. Yeah. My dad was, as you may know him, the fourth Hokage, or as everyone else knows him as Minato Namikaze, the yellow flash of the leaf. Don't look at that, you're joking, right? It's like, no, and Kakashi didn't tell him again. He's right, his dad was the fourth Hokage, of course now deceased, but yeah. So, Kakashi, you're here. He's like, well, I heard you started to talk about your dad, so I thought I'd append just to say hidden up until now. So, well, that doesn't surprise me, because you probably wanted to talk more about him after everyone had their lunch and walked away then, so I went their separate paths, wasn't it? You'd probably be waiting at my house. You know me, right? Yes, I do. And he's like, well, you're the fourth Kage's son. I'm like, of course, would immediately, well, she wouldn't immediately, fall in love with Naruto, but she'd be more interested in Naruto. Because she'd see Naruto as, a boy that's not half bad. She doesn't really, but of course, most people don't know anything really about Naruto because Naruto's kept a lot of stuff secret about him. So when it's like, oh, introduce, yourself to the class, it's like, well, hi, I'm Naruto Uzumaki, and that's what you're gonna get out of me. That's just pretty much what he said, and Kurama's just like, you should say more than that. It's like, well, if they want to know more, they can ask me myself. They can ask me themselves, can't they? And Kurama's just jeez, it's like, well, you do have a point there, and of course, the less they know, and you're kind of like, the less they know about you, the safer they are in theory. So you're also right in that ballpark. And the teacher's like, you should tell them more about yourself. It's like, well, in theory, the more they know about me, the more they are at risk, aren't they, of what I am. You'd say that, and the teacher would step back a bit, realising what Naruto actually implied. Why not just take your seat? And yeah, that's when, of course, Ino would be then curious, because she has always been curious about Naruto, as she'd bring up. I'd always been curious about you, but I never really brought myself to ask you anything about yourself, just in case there was, a huge reason why. It's just because you, yeah. And then who's your mum about? The four Kages, well, I don't know, what would you say? I guess you'd say girlfriend, or wife? Probably more so wife. My mother, you know her as Kushina Uzumaki. Kushina, I'd be, again, pretty surprised, and of course, Hinata really wouldn't, her feelings to Naruto would still be the same. She'd still, love Naruto or fancy Naruto, and would slowly, over the time of being in a team with Naruto, would slowly start having romantic feelings towards him. And those feelings will be shown in an upcoming part of this. But yeah. And anyway. Yeah. And well, Kakashi then go, well, I'm gonna have my lunch then, I'll see you then at your house now for training. And go, like, lucky you get Baron Sensei's, your teacher, pretty much is like, well, you can come along with me, but he's not going to take it easy. What do you mean take it easy? He's like, I've got you'd say an abnormally large chakra reserves. So, it's like, his, method of training me is quite brutal, because, he knows he can teach me how to do jutsu, then go through the processes of making it more efficient or using less chakra. So why would they do that? Well, because of my chakra reserves, I can brute force a lot. Of he says, well, to my knowledge, Naruto, you could brute force anything to do with jutsus. and you know, you'd be fine. You'd be absolutely fine because of how large my chakra reserves are. And you know, she'd go, huh. It's like, yeah, and plus, well, I guess you being on a diet really wouldn't help. So, did you know I was on a diet? Well, it is kind of obvious considering, like, I don't really know how Sasuke looks, but Sasuke likes his girls, but I don't think Sasuke would. He would more or less like someone who's capable of holding themselves. So you'd kind of know that, but it still makes sense to her, you know. And so they end up eating, and goes, well, let me just go, to the shop quickly, and I'll tell my parents where I'll be going. And she accompanies, she does that, and they walk back to Naruto's house. Of course, Kakashi goes, "Did you forget that I was there?" He's like, "No." She wanted to experience our training, so why not bring her along and show her how torturous it could be? And Kakashi says, "Oh gosh, I'm going to feel so sorry for you after this." So what do you mean? Like, you're going to feel sorry for me? So yeah, I'm going to feel very sorry for you. And so it's not that bad, right? Oh, you don't know. And of course, after that, she ends up, well, after a good couple of hours, they have dinner or what somebody's make or tea. And then, of course, dinner should say, "Jeez, your training's insane." I heard all over, it's like, "Oh, we did tell you that, it'd be a nightmare." It's not a nightmare, it's like hell itself. Like, well, I guess it just shows how much how it's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm practically out of chocolate. Like, geez, now how much do you have? I don't know. I know it's a lot. I know it's more than anyone on the planet. Well, no, you wouldn't say that. You'd probably say, I know. Well, according to Kakashi, I know. Apparently, I've got more than all the villagers combined. Everyone in the world that can use chakra, I'll put them all together, and I've got more than them. And she'd look at her. I go, "Sometimes I've got to, go home now." Okay, see you tomorrow for what Kakashi wants us to do. And go, and you can't eat breakfast. I've got a feeling what is. Well, what do you think it is? It's a thing called the bell test, and he would explain what it is about. But I guess the safest thing to do is probably to bring some snacks with you, so then he's going to be late, that is just Kakashi for you. And, of course, she would take that to mind, so she would bring something along with her. And of course, like saying that, goes to bed. Well, he goes to bed and then talks to Kurama for a bit. And, Chris is like, well, that was interesting. That was an interesting day, Naruto. It's like, what are you implying, Kurama? It's like, well, that girl seems to be interested in you. It's like, well, yeah, she said that. Like, no, not what that means. She may have feelings for you, Naruto. Feelings for me? What do you mean? What are you saying? It's like, well, she may not know this now, but she may not even know that she's got feelings for you, but that's what it felt like. It felt like that girl had feelings for you. And also that Hinata, that was her name, is that? Yeah. No, she's got that Hugo member girl on your team. She also seems to be quite interested in you in the same way. And she has a crush on you, and that's kind of why she passed out. She's pretty, well, she's got such a huge crush on you that, you know, just being on the same team can cause her to pass out. Well, I guess that makes more sense than Ino having an interest in me and having a crush on me. It's like, well, we'll just have to find out in time, won't we, Naruto? Well, I guess so, Kurama. I guess so, his sister. He's like, I'm not your sister. Oh, she'd blush and go, hey, I'm not your sister. It's like, well, no, but it won't stop me from saying it. She'd act like she's sulking, even though it'd make her embarrassed and slightly happy. Because, yeah, and that goes, well, I could always call you mother or mummy. Or mummy's like, no, don't call me that, don't call me that. It's like, why? You have kind of been there since I was born. It's like, no, Naruto. You can call me old. As much as I'd hate to say it, you can't call me sister. It's like, okay. And so, Naruto falls asleep on, and next day, they all get together, and that goes, Kakashi should have been here by now. Naruto just goes, you don't know Kakashi then. He's going to be quite late. And just like, well, what do you think he wants us to do? Well, what I think is probably different, but he's probably going to want us to do the battle test. What's that? The battle test is pretty much, you've got 2 bells, and you've got to go, and you've got to work as a team to get the bells off of him. But there's only 2 bells. It's like, yeah, we have to work as a team to get the 2 bells. And yeah, and that's basically it. We have to work as a team and hopefully get the bells within the time limit. It's like, and how do you know that? Well, it's because I've watched my dad. Well, not my dad. I've watched him fail a lot of teammates just because they've just driven just by, him saying, get the 2 bells. Or get a bell and you're safe, pretty much. They've all been driven just to get the bells and never to work as a team. Or never realised. And, of course, mind you, all the people he's failed have generally then come back to him slightly, a year on, and have thanked him for that. So they do have quite a good relationship with him. And she goes, she's feeling something. She's like, well, just before he goes here, goes, oh no, I bought another one here, and she would, who's go, so you did listen. Well, I thought it over and it made sense that, just in case you forgot all that, or you, came and threatened you for some odd reason, just to, being free. April 3 is like, well, yeah, but it shows, well, it's clear you don't need any. So, nah, I'll be fine for a little bit. It's like, yeah, this really ain't gonna hold me over for long. because we know how much Naruto can eat. And yeah. So after quite a while, Kakashi appears and he's like, and I'd go, well, you're late, Kakashi, which doesn't surprise me. Because, well, when you try and make a real excuse like he did, he'd say the exact same thing as he did, and kind of like a black cat crossed his path. And yeah, I'd go, oh, whatever, let's just get on with this. And Kakashi can notice, like, he knew what it was. Dang it, I guess I sort of brought him along when it came to doing the power tests. Dang it, oh well. That's my own bad. Yeah. And it goes, well, I guess there is one benefit of that, you're probably still going to lose you're still going to lose the one person that could probably defeat me in on one-to-one combat. It's like, what? Wait, Naruto can defeat you on one-to-one? It's like, well, kind of. So, well, yes, I can if I decide to use a certain power, which I'll tell you if we become team. If we don't, well, then I'm not really going to tell anyone, because, again, it's an as-class secret. And nobody can know also about who my dad is, because, my dad made enemies, and, well, yeah, that's kind of why my last name is Uzumaki, not Namikaze. So, well, yeah, and I'd go, oh, that makes sense, and I'd go, well, yeah, I kind of figured that out myself, it does kind of make sense why you're called an Uzumaki. Also, it makes even more sense considering my very large chocolate ball. Hey, I was just about to say that. Well, you need to be a lot faster. He's like, yeah, you can tell. And, yeah, well, Cash goes, well, I guess Naruto's explained to you. He's like, explained what? Cash would always fall on his head. He's like, I guess you was more admiring that and not listening to him. Would then re-explain the battle test. Or, well, explain it, not re-explain it. And, of course, Cass would go, okay, ready? 3, 2, 1, go. And they all disappear. Though Naruto's still there, and he goes, I am Naruto, you're meant to hide. So, I am hiding, Kakashi, what do you mean? So, well, no you're not, because you're right in front of me. He's like, well, am I in front of you? And that it confuses Kakashi, because he's like, you are, I can see that you are. So I can even, you pokes his like, I can feel that you are. Like, and Hinata are also confused by this. And then Naruto sneaks up behind Hino, he goes, shh, there's me about, what, how you, Shadow Clone Jutsu, I thought you would have figured it out by now. Like the clone and the clone and Kakashi are just having an argument at this point. And as well, I guess it made for a pretty funny thing and a good distraction. Yeah, anyway, we need to find Hinata and come up with a plan. Yeah. And, they managed to find Hinata, and Hinata, well, was about to say the exact same thing as Dino explains. As well, explains, and it's like, oh, that makes sense now. Yeah, and Cash is like, find what are you read as far as like, he's still hasn't figured it out. Jeez, Kakashi, how stupid can you be? He's just Sharingan for crying out loud. who'd, say in his head. I was like, oh well, whatever. And if that clone survives, I'll be able, we should be able to form a plan using that clone. And well, they do come up with a clone, idea. And so of course, goes, well, Kakashi, and the clone goes, well, Kakashi, you didn't figure what out. That I was just a clone. Bye. As he poofs away, and Kakashi is, he tricked me. He just, he just goes, Danny, he tricked me. And heroes in all these further cargo would just be looking at his crystal ball and would just chuckle to himself. Like, jeez, Kakashi, how stupid can you be? Even though I've fell for that trick. And then 3 clones come out of the bush, which would be Naruto, Ino, and Hinata as the real 3 plan, are currently underground digging a hole around Kakashi as the shadow clones keep him distracted. And of course, as one by one they so-called lose, stamina and that. And Kakashi goes, well, it seems like right now. He's like, what do you mean we've run out? We're just getting started. It started Kakashi as then Naruto spring around as they dig the final little part, and Naruto goes, as they poof and Kakashi falls into the trap. And Kakashi's like, dang it. And he's like, dang it. Should have remembered. You're great to tactician when it comes to fighting. And when it comes to battle, I should have remembered that. Is that well, Kakashi? Did we win? Like, are you gonna give up? It's like, Naruto, you should know the answer to that question. Yeah, but I felt like I should at least ask you this. And it's like, anyway, and they're like, well, I'm not gonna go. Well, you kind of don't have a choice over what do you mean, because I wonder, seems like you've lost the bells. As he looks down, he realises, wait, but the bells, I don't remember placing the bells down, and as Ino and Hinata, saying, he's like, oh, you guys win, your team. Yeah. And you think it's just like, dang, like for, you, like, they're quite good at working as a team, like, the best ones. Yeah, I guess it kind of makes sense. I bet this all was Naruto's plan. Yeah, and I should have used the silent gun straight off the bat, knowing Naruto, but I wanted to take it easy because, don't think he would have done that because of I don't think he would have gone this side because of the other two, and that. Yeah. And, well, yeah. Of course, after that, he goes, well, our last mission will be tomorrow. So see you then. As, he goes away and he goes, oh, and Naruto, you can have, a break today from your training. And he's like, oh, okay, Kakashi. Of course, what he means from that is, he's got a break from Kakashi's training. He's still got Kurama's training that he does also. And, he isn't exactly, of course, well, Hinata goes, okay, well, I'll be going then, as she goes off to more or less the Higa compound, as well, Dad's pretty strict on her. And, you know, oh yeah, you told, didn't you tell us, didn't you say that you'd tell us about your other strong secret if we would become a team? And, you know, Kakashi would have still hanged around just in case Naruto forgot. And if Naruto didn't forget all that, he's like, no, I didn't. I was just about to, say as, Hinata ran off, so, well, it's like, no, there's no point. I'm about to saying it here now, because I don't know, it feels like I can't trust the, Hugo's. I don't know why, it just feels like I can't trust them. I don't know why. And, you know, well, to explain, as, you know, Kakashi once again, you know, pops out and goes, Kakashi. Oh, Kakashi, what are you still doing there? He's like, well, I overheard you yesterday talking about, you know, another Ashrank secret and knowing that Naruto really only has two, which is his parents and what he just told you that he's a Jinchuriki of the nine-tailed fox. It's like, well, yeah, and then there's, well, what me and Kakashi decided to say, super Ashrank secret was super. It's like, yeah, it promotes meaning that me and Kakashi are the only two people that know. And what's that about? Nine-tailed fox, his name is Kurama, huh? And yeah, Kurama is a female. She is the, according to her, she's the second. Well, there's only two female-tailed beasts, and also she's the strongest tailed beast out of all of them. Which, yeah, and you know, Naruto would go to explain and that, and go, wait, so do you train with then? Kurama is like, I do. We do mental training, and we've been doing some other training also. And of course, I think I've said that. I can't remember if I've said that Naruto's removed the seal. Oh no, yeah, he did. He has. I think so. And if he hasn't, well, he's removed the seal because he saw his dad, and well, his dad opened the gate, even though he said, you know, his dad did explain a lot of stuff and you know. And yeah, so the gate is open, so it is a lot easier to transform from 1 to 9 tails, but you know, of course, Kurama is the one that's restricting it a lot because of, you know, she doesn't exactly want Naruto to pop into, you know, complete 9-tailed thing. You know, do a complete 9-tailed state, and then, you know, once that's over, and, you know, be either stuck like that or completely lose his mind. So, yeah, of course. So Naruto's just trying to handle that. He hasn't met his mum yet because, well, he hasn't tried getting Kurama's power all the way that, you know, she thought, you know, Naruto would try and get it. But she's looking over Naruto, she's watching Naruto, and, well, Minato would say just before he disappeared to Kurama, you know, that if, you know, Kurama did try to take over, you know, to shut the gate, I would strongly believe that she would know how to shut the 8 trigram ceiling formula. She would know how to close that, as she did teach that to Minato, and then Minato just learned a lot more about it and how it worked and that. So he was able to sail and do the chakra stuff that he did in canon. Yeah. And so, well, yeah. and he would, Naruto would show, the what's I guess what's in theory holding Kurama in, and well, yeah, that's all works, but generally it's like a spiral, like the the thing on like my jumper. Oh yeah, just not right the night, it's just black, and then my skin goes like, then why is it all black here? The all black shows that it's an open gate, so it's open. It's like, oh yeah, we've been talking to him for a very long time now, and we've been training for quite a while. That, yeah, it just makes sense. And yeah, they talk a bit more, and then would then go back to her house, and Naruto would, as he approaches the gates, the two people at the gate go, Kakashi's giving you the day off, or, well, no, they'd go, so Kakashi's giving you the day off. Naruto's like, yes, I'm going to do some training outside the village. As even though they don't know what training Naruto does, Naruto just says it's, smarter to do the training outside the village, because if something happens, I don't fancy blowing up most of the village by accident. Yeah, so they think it's like a new type of jutsu, or like mastering the Rasengan. They think it's something like that, even though it's actually something a lot more dangerous than the Rasengan. So yeah, and well, they do that, of course. Naruto, as he comes back in there, that geez, Naruto always looks so beat. So yeah, that's training for you. And yeah, well, and the next day Naruto would wake up and meet where they are, and then Naruto would just go, well, I'm just gonna lay down, wake me up when he gets here. And then an hour later, Kakashi's like, why is Naruto asleep? He's like, oh, he was tired, and I guess he got he was very tired. And Kakashi would look at her and go, he should be at home, he shouldn't be here, like in his head. It's like, and he'd wake Naruto again, Naruto, oh, Kakashi, you're here. So he'd whisper in Naruto's, yeah, you shouldn't be here, you should be at home resting. And he's like, well, I'm fine to do, yeah. And he's like, well, yeah, no, it's up to you, but still, you should really be at home right now resting. Yeah, and he's like, well, that's what Kurama said, but I just ignored her. I ignore the sisters. So he's like, I was his sister. He's like, oh yeah, Kurama, right. Like, well, who do you think I was saying? I don't exactly have a sister. The only person that's kind of remotely like a sister is Kurama. So yeah, I kind of just figured that out. And yeah, of course, I think that first mission was the cat one. I'm not sure. Actually, I don't know really what that first mission was, so I'm gonna say it's the cat one. Well, yeah, they do catch it pretty fast. And because would be curious and go, after that, once when Naruto goes, well, if you want to know more about Kurama and that, you can come into my house and she can talk to you, right? She can talk to me. Is that, yeah. As she follows Naruto back to his house, and she comes in, of course. She'd go, oh wow, this place is pretty clean. It's like, well, yeah, Kurama does moan at me a lot to keep this place clean. And then, Naruto, like, it gives up control to Kurama. So then Kurama speaks to, and they speak back and forward, and of course Kurama would bring up the fact that as Naruto's boy, is going to have to try and also live life as a girl so that he can better understand how, like, when he fully transforms into me, how it feels and that, so he's not too weirded out and stuff. He's like, well, yeah, that makes sense. It's like, he does have a jutsu that he can do. It's just we really haven't been able to do that because, well, if he did, he'd be naked. So, and of course, a boy going into, a shop to buy girls' clothes would look very odd. So, yeah, so we kind of decided to not do it. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. And he's like, well, probably, well, not smart doing it in my place, but I could. Naruto transforms into a skull form, I should be able, could measure and get the, stuff then for you. It's like, what, you do that for us? It's like, well, yeah, why not? So there's like, you're also interested in that, aren't you? What do you mean? Like, well, you've got a crush on him. Like, no, I don't. Don't be silly. It's like, the way you acted, right? The way you just acted, and that it sounds very like you've got a crush on him. Like, no, I don't. Well, whatever, anyway. I'm gonna give control back over to Naruto. Yes, Naruto did also hear all of that. She goes bright red. And, Naruto's like, must be back in control. And, Naruto would also, saying, he's, thankful that she would do that for him. And, don't mention it, it's what friends are for, what is that? Yeah, I guess so. So you guess I've never exactly had friends, and just go, oh yeah. So guys, I'm gonna leave it here. So if you have enjoyed this, if you enjoyed this, and you want to see more just like this, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And a goodbye.